It has been a very interesting day across the Bluegrass State. We'll take you back a few hours to a funnel cloud and show you what's yet to come for the coming weekend.
Investigators say some people are behind more than 100 break-ins, and there could even be more victims. We'll tell you about 3 arrests in a crime spree spanning multiple counties.
And a new twist as police investigate the robbery of 4 U.S. swimmers in Rio. What investigators say really happened.
This is WKYT News at 4.
Welcome to WKYT News at 4. I'm Andrea Walker alongside Amber Philpott. An unusual sight in the skies of central Kentucky this afternoon.
It has everybody talking. Viewers spotted this funnel cloud in Clark County, even though there was no storm in the area at the time. WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey shows us what's behind it and has a look at what's on the radar right now. Chris, I got a picture and I immediately tweeted you with it.
You know what? My Twitter started blowing up just a few minutes before 2 o'clock this afternoon with this gusty shower that was right on top of Winchester. Look at this. This is a screen grab of the radar from 1:50 this afternoon. This was not a true thunderstorm. We had no lightning. We had nothing severe with this, but it did spit out that little weak funnel cloud that was very photogenic for folks into the Winchester area. Now everybody wants to know what the heck was it. How are you getting a funnel cloud from a shower and not a thunderstorm? Well, you're going to hear a lot of explanations from this. Here's mine. This is something that was a funnel cloud, what I would akin to a water spout funnel cloud, or something that you would see if you're out on the beach looking out over the ocean and you spot a little funnel cloud there. It isn't from a true thunderstorm. Yes, it is considered to be from the tornado family, but it does not come from a rotating supercell thunderstorm. You have no wall cloud that descends from a thunderstorm that typically produces funnel clouds and or tornadoes. Those tend to be very thin and very weak. This one did not touch the ground, so it's not a true landspout or tornado, but I think it's going to be called a landspout funnel cloud simply because it was not a thunderstorm. You got to give it some kind of definition. We could still see 1 or 2 more of those out there right now with just enough spin potentially showing up in some of the updrafts that we're getting with these gusty showers. But I think that threat's pretty much over. Central Kentucky, some isolated stuff that is out there. We look at that live sky cam, and even though we're watching those little teeny tiny showers after what I saw happen in Winchester right now, I've been paying a lot of attention to that sky cam on those small showers that are out there. Farther to the southeast, down the Mountain Parkway and into southeastern Kentucky, now we've got some heavier rain, and we've had some honest-to-goodness true thunderstorms into southern Kentucky so far. Heavy rains today causing flash flooding here into Rockcastle County, had some high water into Lincoln County. Those are areas that picked up greater than 2 inches in some spots a little earlier today. But the overall flow, hey, it's the same old compared to where we've been over the past several days. And where we're going for the weekend, I've got the threat for some stronger storms before a big break in that 7-day forecast here in 15 minutes.
And as Chris can attest, we received dozens of calls from stunned viewers as the funnel cloud appeared in the sky.
Many people grabbed their phones and cameras to catch a glimpse of that rare sight. WKYT's Garrett Weimer is live for us in Clark County with reaction in our top story at 4. Garrett?
Yeah, that funnel cloud certainly has folks here in Clark County buzzing and hoping that they're in the clear now. I'm at the county's Emergency Operations Center where they tracked that funnel cloud from the roof as it traveled through the area here. Emergency management officials here say they've gotten reports and pictures of the funnel cloud from all over the county, along the bypass, the interstate, also in downtown Winchester. We also talked to people this afternoon at Clark County's BCTC campus who say they saw the funnel cloud come right over the hill. Now, emergency management tells me they do not believe the funnel cloud touched down anywhere. They have not gotten any reports of damage. But emergency management officials say they did sound the siren at the time, even though there wasn't a tornado warning or anything for the area. They say they just wanted to make people aware of what was going on. Live in Clark County, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Pretty interesting video there and pictures
Amazing.
This afternoon. Well, it is a theft ring involving hundreds of break-ins in at least 2 counties. The Franklin County Sheriff's Office says it arrested an adult and 2 juveniles for the crime spree there and in Anderson County.
As WKYT's Victor Puente shows us, there could be more victims in more counties.
The Franklin County Sheriff tells me that at this moment, they're still recovering more stolen items and finding more victims. They expect this case to continue to grow in the coming weeks. Sheriff Pat Melton says they arrested Justin Hendershot at his home on Schenkel Lane after they found numerous stolen items there. They say he sold stolen goods by having a yard sale at his home on the weekends. They say he and 2 juveniles broke into hundreds of cars and trucks across Franklin and Anderson counties. Lawrenceburg police and agencies from Scott and Shelby County are involved in the investigation. They say the group stole guns, cell phones, tools, and clothes from those vehicles. Hendershot is charged with receiving stolen property. They expect to file more charges and make more arrests. I was there earlier today as a woman who had a bow stolen came to retrieve it.
I was like, please tell me you have a bow, and the sheriff or the officer I talked to was just like, yeah, tell me what it is, and I did, and he's like, yeah, I just put your name on it, and I just burst into tears.
Sheriff Melton is asking that anyone who purchased items from that home on Schenkel Lane that they believe may have been stolen to give them a call. He said they could face charges if they bought property that they believe may have been stolen and they don't turn it in. In Franklin County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
And those juveniles aren't in custody, but Melton says they are facing charges.
We are working on a number of other stories for you on WKYT starting at 4:30.
Sam Dick joins us now with a look at some of the news in progress. Sam?
Good afternoon. A huge mess to clean up in a Lexington neighborhood after a close call when a tree fell, narrowly missing 2 homes. The bur oak is believed to be at least 100 years old. It came tumbling down yesterday on Duncan Avenue. The homeowner, Charles Shipley, says he's not sure what caused the tree to fall.
I've always heard that bur oaks don't like to have the ground around them disturbed much, and being really close to the driveway, and I've got compost heap back there, and I'm figuring that kind of stuff damaged the roots.
One neighbor thinks they know what might have caused the tree to fall. We'll have that theory on WKYT News at 4:30. Meanwhile, the city cleared the limbs that fell on the sidewalk and street. Shipley says he's still trying to figure out how to get rid of the rest of the tree. He's hoping the tree can be sold as firewood. The 10th annual Fenton-Dawson volleyball tournament takes place this weekend in Lexington. Dawson, one of the 49 people who died when Flight 5191 crashed near Bluegrass Airport on August 27, 2006. This will be the final year for the tournament. We talked to organizers about why it's coming to an end on WKYT News at 5. Jessamine County Sheriff's Office is investigating what it's calling a major theft. Someone broke into Huss Equipment Farm and Turf, stealing a truck, hauling trailer, and other equipment. We'll have more on the theft and how much it cost the business on WKYT News at 5:30. That's a look at some of the news in progress. Andrea and Amber, back to you.
Sam, thank you. Now to some stories making headlines across the nation at 4. Police in Brazil say reports 4 American swimmers were robbed at gunpoint aren't true.
Ryan Lochte and 3 others reported the robbery last Sunday, saying it happened while on their way back to the athletes' village. Instead, police say the swimmers vandalized a gas station and got into a scuffle with security guards. Scott McLean looks at the new developments in the case.
Gold medals, an Olympic dream, now becoming a major headache for 4 American swimmers. A Brazilian newspaper has released video calling into question the veracity of the swimmers' account of an armed robbery in Rio Sunday morning. The video shows the swimmers at a gas station getting into a taxi when a man approaches the vehicle with his hand raised. Minutes later, athletes exit the taxi. One appears to remove his wallet. Another briefly raises his hands. Another few minutes later, a different camera shows at least 3 of the swimmers sitting on a curb. At least one holds his hands up, while another appears to reach into his pocket. It's unclear who they're interacting with. The newspaper is also reporting an unnamed gas station owner accusing the Americans of vandalism and urinating in an alley. Swimmer Ryan Lochte spoke on the phone with NBC's Matt Lauer Wednesday.
There's skepticism that you made this story up along with these other swimmers to cover up some other form of embarrassing behavior. He strongly denied that, said it's absolutely not the case.
The video's release comes after 2 of the swimmers, Jack Conger and Gunnar Bentz, were pulled off their flight to the U.S., barred from leaving until they're questioned. Brazil has been skeptical of the robbery story, pointing to apparent inconsistencies and this security footage showing them returning to the athletes' village looking unshaken and in possession of their cell phones. Lochte has already returned to the U.S. The other 3 are still in Brazil. It is unclear when they will be allowed to return home. I'm Scott McLean reporting.
A security guard did point a gun at the swimmers. The investigation is still ongoing, and police haven't finished interviews with the athletes.
AT&T's data plans are getting more expensive. We'll show you the changes in MoneyWatch.
And McDonald's is pulling activity trackers from Happy Meals. The reason for the change ahead.
Up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
AT&T is joining Verizon in raising the prices of some of its data plans. That begins today's MoneyWatch.
AT&T isn't calling the changes a price hike. The higher prices come with more data, reducing the cost per gigabyte for many customers. Now, many customers will benefit, and those that won't can keep their existing plans. The new rates take effect on Sunday. McDonald's attempt to get children moving isn't working out the way they might have hoped. A McDonald's representative says the company will no longer be putting their new activity trackers in Happy Meals after reports the trackers may cause skin irritations. He says the company is fully investigating the issue. The chain has a reputation for serving fattening junk food, and an image it's been trying to change over the years, particularly with parents.
Cisco will lay off 7% of its workforce, which translates to 5,500 jobs. The announcement came as the tech giant announced slightly better than expected earnings in the last quarter. Cisco says they'll reinvest the money saved by the job cuts in what they think is the next big thing, cybersecurity and the cloud. Has the Apple bubble burst? Retail giant Target reports that sales of Apple products in its stores were down by more than 20% in the second quarter. They're hoping to revive that number with the release of the new iPhone 7 this fall. But a big problem for companies like Apple and Samsung, customers are now in less of a hurry to replace their older devices.
I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about at Table 310, preparing for their Farm to Dinner Table series. More on the event and how you can get tickets when we return here on WKYT.
Scattering of showers and thunderstorms dancing about the Defender Radar Network. We'll time those into where you live and look ahead for the all-important weekend next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Gusty showers and thunderstorms across the region this afternoon. That tropical atmosphere continues across the bluegrass region, dumping some heavy downpours and even spawning a weak shower that produced a little weak funnel cloud into the Winchester area. Live look outside in Lexington, and we are dealing with those threatening skies, but the raindrops kind of few and far between for the metro right now. 79 degrees. Humidity is at 77%. So it feels steamier than it actually is on your thermometer. We look at your Defender Radar Network now, and we are dealing with a couple of widely scattered sprinkles or light showers for the bluegrass area. North of 64 as advertised today, much drier to the south and southwest of us. We're dealing with at least a shower, a thunderstorm. Boy, did we get some torrential rains here today into parts of especially Lincoln County over to Rockcastle County, putting it down, causing some local flash flooding. We'll have more on that coming up a little later on. We are dealing still with some lighter rains around Monticello, Lake Cumberland, now east of 75. The rains begin to pick up the pace a little bit across the Corbin area, over toward Manchester, down the Mountain Parkway. Some isolated showers that are out there too. Flow continues to come out of the Gulf of Mexico, at least the western Gulf. It's not as pronounced as what we were dealing with a few days ago, but it can still give us a storm or two around for the day on Friday. Can it impact some of those high school football games? Hope not, but at least a chance is there. Storms will increase on Saturday, late day strong or severe thunderstorms. Then for our Sunday, some early day showers and thunderstorms around before the afternoon turns absolutely spectacular. Let's walk you through the whole weekend, shall we? Start with tonight. Anything that's out there this evening will begin to dissipate. Through the day tomorrow, we will notice more in the way of some sun versus clouds and a scattered shower or thunderstorm. Through tomorrow evening and through the day on Saturday, we will see some scattered stuff early, Then as we get deeper into the afternoon and evening, watch the western sky, especially if we get any sunshine Saturday. We could get in on some booming thunderstorms out there Saturday evening, and that would carry us into Sunday morning with at least the chance for a shower or thunderstorm. Then look at Sunday afternoon. Here comes that breath of fresh air. How about 70s across the region, lower humidity and increasing amounts of sunshine, and we may put together 1, 2, 3, 4 straight days of dry conditions with very pleasant temperatures, highs upper 70s to low 80s, lows in the 50s. Let's check in with Officer Don and see how things are moving on the roads. Don?
Well, a couple of things to start off. There's a collision on New Circle at Young Drive. This one's on the outer loop that has one lane blocked. And don't forget that Forest Hill remains closed on Todd's Road, and that's causing some slowdowns on Todd's this afternoon. Extra slow through the construction zone. To Nicholasville, 13 minutes. To Paris, 21. To Richmond, averaging about 22 minutes for now across the Clays Ferry Bridge. Now back to you in the studio.
It's where farm meets table and land meets sea. We're talking about a special event for the Farm Dinner Series at Table 310.
Our Deanne Stevens is out and about today with more. Hi, Deanne.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. We are here at Table 310 preparing for their Farm to Dinner series. We got things cooking up in the kitchen as well as at the farm. We have Chef Chris with us. And Chef Chris, you guys have been doing this Farm to Table Dinner series with a huge focus on everything local. I love what you're doing here. Tell folks about it.
Well, I grew up on a farm, and I'm used to having very fresh ingredients, very fresh fruits and vegetables, and I think a lot of people get lost in not having those types of things and don't understand how good they really are. And so a big focus of mine is to let the food speak for itself. And to really get people connected with their farmers and see how hard the farmers work to bring us these delicious ingredients.
Well, the taste, there's no comparison in the taste when you're talking about local produce especially.
Definitely. It's a far superior quality to anything you buy from a large-scale farm. And that's why I appreciate people like Eric Wallace very much.
All right, he's talking about farmer Eric here, who has Eric's Organics, and you have been working with the folks here at Table 310. You're bringing it straight from the farm, and I love you. Go, Deanne, try one, take a bite. I think I might have another one. These are amazing.
People really don't realize the flavor until you actually do try it, and what's fun is how surprised and happy you are when you taste something you really enjoy.
And that has to make you feel good. You've been here in the middle of the series, the dinner series that they're doing, and you see folks' reaction, the difference in taking it straight from the farm to the table. Talk about that.
Well, that's what gets me really excited and passionate about what I'm doing as a local farmer, because I love to see how excited people are when they sample my food and see it prepared. And Chef Chris is amazing in terms of how he's able to really present it and get people excited about it.
And it tastes yummy. You can be a part of the Farm to Table Dinner series next weekend. It's happening, but you got to have your tickets by Saturday, and you can do that by calling the number on the screen. We're doing like from land to sea, something like that?
Yes, we're going to be featuring Eric and also my fish people, Kelly and Chris Seafood, as well as one of their partners, Fin Gourmet, who help take out the silver carp out of our lakes down in Paducah, which is actually a very tasty fish if you've never tried it.
All right, more of what's on the menu for that. Get your tickets now for the Farm to Table series. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about at Table 310. Back to you guys.
What you eat during pregnancy might play a role in how your child behaves later on in life. The findings of a new study in Better Living.
Tomorrow night's Mega Millions jackpot is $61 million, and Saturday night's Powerball jackpot is $110 million. Now it's time for Better Living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. A new study finds prescription drug use increased for people who got health coverage under the Affordable Care Act. Out-of-pocket spending for medications also dropped. Researchers at Rand Corporation found people who were able to go on Medicaid filled 79% more prescriptions and paid 58% less per prescription than before. Stroke patients who have anemia may have an increased risk of death up to a year after their stroke. That's according to researchers in Scotland. Anemia, which is a lack of red blood cells, is common in patients with acute stroke. And a mother's unhealthy diet during pregnancy may be linked to her child's behavioral problems later on. Scientists from King's College London found a connection between mothers' high-fat, high-sugar diets and an increase in ADHD symptoms in children 7 to 13 years old. There's a growing debate in the medical field about whether music in the operating room helps doctors concentrate or is a distraction. As Destiny McIver reports, some doctors say music helps them work better.
Behind the doors of the cath lab, you'll hear water running, utensils going, and some days a little music.
I generally listen to classic rock.
Dr. Sheldon Freeberg says he and other staff members convinced management at Lewis and Peach's Owen Hart Hospital they needed music to increase work productivity. Now, while you go under for procedures, your doctor may be playing their favorite jams.
Some of the older doctors, they'll listen to smooth jazz or those kinds of things. Some of us younger docs, will listen to either classic rock or newer type music in the background.
According to doctors, the music in the cath lab is never blaring. University of Miami studies show those who listen to music at work complete their jobs quicker and are more productive. Dr. Freeberg agrees.
We convinced the hospital that low-level music increases productivity. So, which has been shown, with Muzak in workplaces.
And with a little rock in the background for these doctors, there's still one goal at the forefront of their minds.
We're still very focused on what's going on and very aware of every detail.
That was Destiny McIver reporting. Those doctors have one rule: the music stays off when someone is performing a surgery for the first time. After that, doctors are free to have light background music playing while working. Now here's what's coming up on WKYT News at 4:30.